All right. So, in this day and age in Xbox gaming, we have a division. Not the game, the division. That's coming and that's good. This division is something a bit more rocky, and it is the void between disc based games or digital games. Now, I've got a little bit of both, and I just kind of wanted to go over some of the pros and cons of both sides and why you might want to go one way versus the other. Now, they started doing what they call games on demand with Xbox 360. That's when they started doing Xbox original Xbox backwards compatibility. I almost said Xbox One. And then so we've got digital games, some Xbox original Xbox games that were playable on the 360. A lot of 360 games are purchasable digitally, and any of those games are going to be eligible for Xbox One backwards compatibility. Granted, they're on the list. And pretty much any Xbox One game that exists today is available digitally or on disc. So, why would you get a game on disc? What are the positive sides of that? The pros of getting a game on disc are that you have the disc and that you can do whatever you want with it, meaning that if you decide you don't want to play the game anymore, or if you bought the game and ended up not liking it, you can sell that game, whether it be to your friend or to a place like GameStop. You have that freedom of selling it, back. You also could loan it out to someone if your friend is like, hey, I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence. I don't want to spend $60 on this game when I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not. And even if it's a new game where to buy it used, it's still like $55 at GameStop or something. You can say, hey, take this disc, bring it back to me in like 3 days, and let me know what you think of the game. And that's really a powerful tool today because there's a lot of those people who are like, if I can play a brand new game for free for a couple days, they're going to try it, they're going to play it, and they're not going to be biased by the fact that they may have just spent $60 on it and they feel obligated to have a good time. Because if they're like, hey, I just get to try it out, let's see what it's like, that is an avenue that can really lead to more people, more gamers playing different kinds of games and learning more about the kind of games that they enjoy. And that's something that we definitely need to keep alive in the gaming industry today. And the sort of, maybe it's just a thing for me, but there is also the collector's value of having the disc. Like, I like looking on my wall and seeing all of my game boxes right there. And for me, as a big Halo fan, I've got from the first box I had when I got Halo 1, I've got everything up until now a Halo 5 box. So that's cool, which you don't get that with the collectors, with the digital content. Because you could have every game known to man, and it's like, yeah, they're on my hard drive. Yeah, I've got the achievements, but I don't have like the stuff. I don't know, maybe that's just me. When you're looking at cons of having a disc, some of the things that could go wrong, that disc could get scratched and mean it doesn't perform, means it doesn't play. The disc could get broken entirely, which means now you have to get a new one in order to play the game. Could also get lost or stolen, so there is a slight security risk there where, what if you did loan it out to someone and you were being stupid and the person you loan it to never gives it back? That's a possibility. And then the sort of day-to-day problem or inconvenience, I'll say, is always having to swap it out, where if you play a lot of different games and then you were playing this yesterday, now you want to play this, you have to go to your Xbox, take the disc out, and find the new one and find the disc you want to play and put it in the Xbox. So you've got that going on, which, I don't know, if you play a lot of different games all the time and you've got a lot of discs, that can get annoying, but for the most part, that's the way it's always been. So, yeah, the only reason we're complaining about it is because we now actually have the option to do it differently. Looking at buying games and owning games digitally, some pros are you don't have to go to the store. Like if I say I want to get, say obviously I'm going to get Fallout 4, I could go to GameStop and pre-order it and, be going back there every once in a while and paying it off little by little. And by the time I actually go to the launch party and pick up the game, I've, been to the store all these times. But, and then I've spent all this time going back and forth to the store when I could have just gone on my Xbox and said, pre-order, and then it downloads, and then I come here, which for me is at 9 p.m. on the day before launch day, which is midnight New York time, and I'm like, hey, the game's out, and I play the game, and there it is right there, and I never have to get off my A. I'm just sitting right here, and all I do is play the game. Which, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. But my personal recommendation is to go to every launch party. Go. Be a part of your community. Go and interact with other people, because launch parties are about everyone coming together because we all love this game and because this game is awesome. So go, be a part of that. Even if you buy the game digitally, go to the launch party, hang out, and have fun. You can pre-download games, so when it does come out, when a game launches, you can play it right away. You don't have to have the disc and then wait for it to install and then wait for it to download any day one updates, because day one updates typically go live before day one, and so if you've pre-downloaded it, you'll probably get those day one updates early as well. So at the exact moment that the game's available, that's all you have to do to play, which is always awesome. Buying a game digitally means it's always available. You don't have to get the disc or whatever. If you loan the disc to a friend, now all of a sudden you can't play that game while your friend has the disc. If you have a digital game, it's always there. All you have to do is say Xbox Go to whatever game you want. Auto update is really cool as well, because when you have a disc-based game, you have to have when you put the disc in, if there's an update, it will say, hey, there's an update, and then make you do the update before you can play it. But on auto update, it just updates them in the background, whether or not you're playing them all the time. So if it's a game that you don't play for a few weeks and a couple updates come out in that time, they'll just update. And then when you go to play, you don't have to wait for it, because you always have the newest experience always ready. The only con of buying a game digitally that I wrote down was if it's a game that you don't like. If you buy a game digitally and then you play it and you're like, I don't really like this game, sucks. I mean, that's how it goes. If you bought it digitally, it's yours and you can't really get rid of it, so sorry. Yeah, no refunds. But another con that I'm going to add on to digital is, the ability is a sort of disconnect between you and the community, because like I mentioned before, my recommendation is to go to launch parties, is to go to GameStop, to be a regular customer there. Even if you don't buy a game every day, be part of that community and always be interacting with other people who share the love of the gaming industry that you do. So that's my recommendation, and it's really easy to get disconnected from that with digital games. So that's what I got on disc versus digital. Any other comments or questions, please leave them below in the comments, and subscribe for regular Xbox gaming news. As always, this has been Asthmatic, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.